moon rising beyond Aurora Stadium. We're wondering whether it was Saturn or some other planet. Come on, Robert Walls, that was your cue. He said it's certainly not Uranus, and I think he's right. At three-quarter time, Carlton lead by 9 points. Hawthorn with a super goal to Clinton Young in the third term. Michael Voss, and some good legs left in the Hawks.
Well, all the big guns have played. They've played a lot of minutes, so that's going to be a definite factor coming into the last quarter. And Clinton Young there was important in that early part of the third quarter, providing plenty of drive for the Hawks.
Fresh legs there, and you can see Lance Whitnell and Kuda, they've certainly got some gas in the tank. This is going to be a terrific final quarter. Both teams really want to win. Big guns in for the Hawks. You can see Crawford's there with Mitchell and Luke Hodge as well, so this is what we expected.
Blues by 9 points, final quarter underway. Taylor, Mitchell almost threw it out to Young. Kicked a super goal at the start of the third quarter. Clark feeds it back. Sewell, who's been serviceable. Out wide to Mitchell. They can set something up here. Drives it long. Needs a big mark from Roughhead and Co. Satana helping, gets back and did well enough to deflect it to Walker. Thornton working in a confined space, but gets it back to Walker. Now Scotland. So they worked it out pretty well, the Blues, and Scotland now away. Kicks it to the lead of Kennedy. Strong hands.
Terrific mark. Under pressure.
It's got better as the game has gone on, Josh Kennedy. Chips it dangerously, but Betts protects the ball with his body and marks on his chest. Chips it inside. Houlihan, not 20, so has to play on. Favola in a good position here. Couldn't quite hold on. Or just certainly infringed there against Clark.
He was frustrated, Fev. He had 4 Hawks against him. He was surrounded by them. Long odds against him there.
Hawthorn needing to be positive here at the start of the last. They're a super goal down. Lewis receives from Guerra, delivers well. Mitchell did it beautifully, used the body, took the mark and edged out Bentic. Now he goes for Williams. Was that in the back? No, he used his hip into the back of the opponent. And of course that's different from using your hands. So there'll be a throw in. Now he's using his elbow on Brett
Thornton's done a fantastic job of Williams. You know, you wouldn't have picked the exact matchup probably, but done a great job.
Absolutely glorious evening in Launceston. On the Moon, a majestic side. Here's Bentic giving to Saddington, the former Swan, who's hoping to really settle into this Carlton side this year, but well, that's not a great effort.
2 minutes into this final quarter, Sam Mitchell already with 3 disposals. Now, he's the danger man with Hodge. Carlton just have to lock down on those 2.
Sewell kicks it high. Ackland in good position. Oh, dropped the mark he should have taken. And diving in on the ball, Mitchell and Clark. Spills to Franklin. Good little give. Oh, gee, Hodge wrapped up in a tackle. A brilliant tackle. And he's been penalised. And the free kick to come back to Cade Simpson. That was a wonderful tackle. Sweeps the handball to Scotland. Left foot kick out wide is okay, and the mark's taken by Thornton at half back.
Shadow boxing going on here for the first goal. Bad miss by O'Halpin. Has time. Gives to Scotland, who's been a pretty safe pair of hands back there. And that's a good ball for Saddington, who can't surely put it out of bounds this time. Goes for Favola. Will have to win it on the ground. 3 of them against him. Dawson taking it out into a pretty safe place. Fev's not happy.
Now, if we look back into the forward line, that's the structure they've had most of the night. And they've got the 4 forwards deep in. And the next Hawthorn player, we've got the stoppage in the forward 50 here of Carlton. And the next Hawthorn player is in their forward 50, some 150 metres away. That means Hawthorn have got to run this as much as they possibly can to get it up to their forwards.
And they do. Crawford to Young. Now Franklin, who's away. Space in front of him. Drives it deep inside, attacking 50. Roughhead got a hand on it. Brazil directed the kick, but 4-on-4 battle is won by Saddington off to Thornton. And sneaking down, Waite provides an option at halfback, out in front of Russell. Bateman slips over, but got to his feet very quickly. Did well enough to get it towards Mitchell. His handball was intended out there for Clark, but Ackland did well. But Hawthorn, weight of numbers.
Mitchell 5 touches. Bentic his opponent.
Guerra. Clark running hard. confronted by Russell. Bad little fumble there from Tim Clark after he worked so hard to get into a usable spot, and a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for the Hawks.
And a terrific call by Michael Voss, and we saw it. The Hawks got it in their defensive 50 and then had 5 or 6 handballs before they could deliver it into their forward 50 because they just couldn't kick it to anyone in the middle of the ground.
You can see the Hawks really girding the loins here for this final quarter onslaught. They give away a free kick to Bentic. Now Stevens, and Carlton build in towards the 50. Whitnell, and it stays alive for him. The skipper on the break. Just didn't have anybody on the end of that. Favola might be able to make something of it. Betts the one who can work a miracle up there. Lappin, clever. Oh, what a bad miss that was by Kennedy. Couldn't believe it was there for the taking. Renouf.
Gee, frantic football at this early stage of the season. It is just helter-skelter, really quick movement of the ball. I reckon Carlton need the win more than the Hawks. Carlton have had a bit of bad publicity over the last month. They've also had some good publicity too with Dick Pratt coming back to the club. But a win would be wonderful for them.
And they have a full-strength outfit in. And with that in mind, they really should be able to win this. Bentic delivers to Fisher.
And Waite runs for Fisher, and he gets on the end of it. Just to 20 metres. Now Waite wants to take on Taylor and does. Gets around him. Drills it in low and hard towards Whitnell. Didn't quite get to him. Hodge. Good slick hands. Lewis. Sewell. So again they're confronted. They can't kick it because there's just no one to give it to.
The forwards are stationary.
Birchall, Franklin, and they go. Now Crawford. He runs to 55 from outside 50. He kicks a super goal. It's all tied up.
See, they want to leave that forward space.
Super goal.
His foot is behind the line, and that is definitely a super goal.
Well, there's the bongo here.
Still 50 metres and more in those old legs of Shane Crawford. 32 years of age now. He's just tied things up here. Mitchell gives it to him as a little reward. Tired kick that, slewing off the side of the boot. Williams hard at it, O'Halpin too. A throw in.
What has been pivotal, and you mentioned it there, Tim, Crawford has been important in this game, and he's spent a lot of it in the midfield. So I think that sort of says how his body's feeling. He's feeling good, he's running well, and he's going to be important in this last quarter.
This has been a feisty game all night. On it goes. Scotland, Bentic. Game tackle, copped it high. A lot of free kicks being paid.
Cooter's just come on and hasn't been picked up.
That was high, no question. Sam Mitchell's left arm caught Bentic over the shoulder. Heads for Whitnell, 3 in front of him. Still a chance. Lappin. Pressure on Thornton to Koutafidis. Or Houlihan it was who gave it to him. Kouta sprays it. Just can't put the ball where he wants to with the precision of yesteryear. So Carlton will have to work for it again.
Great endeavour by both sides here, Wolsey. They're having a crack.
Absolutely. And the crowd are loving it.
So Favola gets it out, only as far as Young. Brilliantly run down though by Simpson. Spills to Dawson. Tim Clark running hard, needs to get rid of it quickly. Was chased down. Williams.
This is where they run and carry.
Looping handball, okay. Campbell, Young, now they're away. Bateman, he can bounce. Needs to come back to Crawford. Poor handball at the feet of Crawford. Can he kick his second 9-pointer? No. Well done that time by Scotland. Saddington doesn't know what to do. Sweeps it wide. Murphy, Scotland, and they combine well just to steady things at the present time. But Murphy's kick bounces just inside.
Just
trying to throw in on the wing.
Trying to work out who is on Luke Hodge. I think it's been Murphy. Murphy coming off now. They've been very wide of each other. Cooter's now on running with Hodge.
Carlton interchange number 1 draft picks. Gibbs on, Murphy off. Mitchell mown down by Gibbs, and Carlton come away with it. Thornton, long ball. Betts sets himself from behind with great ambition. Not enough leap. Sewell clears for the Hawks. Good spoil Russell on Bateman. So a throw in.
There it is. There's that forward 50 again. And there isn't a Hawthorn player between that stoppage and the contest except Scotland,
And
who's sitting
Scotland
in space.
So
there he is.
It's at least 100 metres between where the ball is now and those Hawthorn forwards. And as a result, they have to run and carry. 160 handballs the Hawks have had to this stage of the game.
And if we look to into their forward 50, we have, I believe it's Hodge sitting back in the hole in Carlton's forward 50.
Cloak knocks it forward. Betts, good little give. Stevens, well done. Houlihan runs inside 50. Drop punt is off to the right. And offline for a behind.
It's enough to give the Blues the lead as Hodge is off. McGlynn is on for the Hawks. Just over 10 minutes left. Grant Birchall from St Brendan Shaw College at Devonport goes for McGlynn, the man just through the interchange gate. The Hawks finding something in this last quarter, lifting their rating. Carlton battling to hold them. Hawthorn's Murphy. Tom Murphy prods it across ground. Sewell has to win it. Has support, but it's become a little sticky for them. Moss's kick smothered. Renouf well tackled. Moss goes back, but it's too late. Renouf has been penalised. Carlton's ball. We're told it is Renouf, not Renouf, as in Steve and Susan and others. Here's Gibbs, long ball for Vola. 2 against him. Free kick. Fev to kick a goal and extend Carlton's lead.
There's often an argument about what the NAB series means. Yet when you see 2 clubs go at it like this in the last quarter, you know it means a lot.
It does.
All bets are off.
30 free kicks to 13 Carlton's way.
Gee, that's a big discrepancy, isn't it?
It is. It's also a lot of free kicks in shortened games such as these. Now Favola. Oh, gee, it was casual, but he's missed.
Hit the post.
It clipped the post. Too casual, perhaps.
He just didn't seem to quite get his angle right there.
Did he need to bend it back? I mean, he's a good kick for goal, and he could see plenty of daylight.
Yeah, he probably should have backed himself in. He is, like you said, he is a great kick for goal.
So Birchall, Tasmanian at fullback for Hawthorn. Drives it out wide. Gee, it was too much carry on it. And he took 2 steps. Perhaps needed to steady a bit more. Kicked it back into the pocket. Birchall almost takes the mark. A chance here for the Blues. Betts somehow. Does he keep it in? Yes, now he's pushed over. So a boundary throw in deep in Carlton's pocket.
And the Hawks have got 14 players in their defensive 50, no one in the midfield, and 4 statues standing up in their forward 50. They've done it all night. It's been pretty effective.
This is where it gets difficult, though. They've got to share it under pressure. Spills to Murphy. Shocking kick. Bentek couldn't hold the mark. Mitchell does well just to soccer it clear from Koutafidis. Great pick-up by the veteran, though. Back to Houlihan. Well tackled by Crawford. They're forcing Carlton back here, the Hawks. Great work from Shane Crawford. Kick, though, was able to get to Scotland.
Danger, fat side.
Stevens now on centre wing. He's got Simpson free. Beyond that, he's got Thornton free, 60 from goal. Sells a dummy to Lewis. Now to Simpson. Can he get onto his left side? Gives it instead to Betts. Thornton from the impossible angle. Left foot snap around the body. Is missing to the little side.
Would have been a great result for the fullback. He's carried that Carlton defence for the last 3 or 4 years. He's going to get a lot of support this year from O'Halpin and Jared Waite.
That would have been about the best by a fixed defender since Froggy Crompton won Melbourne the 64 flag, running up from the back pocket. Williams in the back pocket, Thornton's opponent.
Listen to the crowd.
And they're supporting Carlton. Mark Williams to Birchall. Good pressure from the Blues. Dawson. That's a little dangerous. Tucked with quick hands to McGlynn. And the Hawks are away now. What can their open forward half make of this? Old Crawford in the race for it. Might receive. Now he lays the shepherd for Boyle. High ball. Awkward ball. Rushed behind. And it was pretty well done by Andrew Walker. Carlton lead by 2 points.
I mean, it's obviously a directive from Clarkson to keep the forwards back in a pressure situation in the last dying stages of the quarter. I wouldn't mind a get-out option, maybe, of one of the forwards perhaps coming up just where Scotland is.
The four stuck in the forward 50, there's a lot to be said for it, but there are times when one of the big fellas needs to release from that forward 50, come down to the wing to be a target for the players coming out of the back line.
Moss kicks it to half forward. Carlton a chance. Stevens, Gibbs, been pretty quiet. Bentic on the out. Good handball, Scotland. Good Koutafidis running for him. Well, Kouta wanted to give it back to Scotland. That probably wasn't the best option. McGlynn ties it up, and Hawthorn get out of that with a bounce on centre wing.
Crawford looks dangerous. He's starting to win the ball, and just up forward then just missed an opportunity. He looks very dangerous at the moment in this game.
Hodge, third man up, wide to Stevens. Now Simpson. Want his left side. He handballs instead. Koutafidis knocks it intelligently to Houlihan. Oh, wild handball. Searching for Murphy. Somehow he shrugged the tackle. Cloak off a step. Inside attacking 50, and the mark's taken by Carazzo. 30 metres from goal. 45-degree angle.
Murphy did well. They were coming at him from all angles, and he just kept his composure. And here he is there, shrugs the tackle to free himself up to release the ball.
That's just not panicking in the tackle. He was prepared to take the hit if he needed to, and then found himself in space and dished it off. It was great work.
Both sides have kicked 6 goals, 5 from set shots tonight. Andrew Carazzo kicks a goal for the Blues.
Tremendous support for both teams here at Aurora Stadium. This has become quite an occasion. Carlton lead Hawthorn by 8 points, but their lead could be lost with one long kick in a NAB Cup match. Cloak back for the Blues, and Koutafidis helps it forward for Carlton. Young getting back, might have got in Guerra's way. Hodge. Hawthorn have to be steady and cool. Tom Murphy. There's an Irishman at either end of this ground. Hawthorn build now as it's poked forward by Moss, young Western Australian. Now Walker getting better with each year for Carlton. That's a lovely kick. Koutafidis.
Been good Kouta this quarter.
Doesn't mess around. Gibbs bombs it in, but blazes a little indiscreetly. Gillen for Hawthorn. Taking it wide for Crawford. Really lifting in this last term. Super Crawf after that 50-metre plus goal. Finds Young. Hawthorn down by 8 points. And we are into the dying minutes. No one able to snare it in the air. Rough head tied up. Carlton with numbers. Hawthorn needing to hold it in and try and set something up, and they'll get a chance now.
Well, Anthony Koutafidis, we said at three-quarter time he had fresh legs. Been used sparingly in the first 3 quarters. He's had 7 disposals in this last term.
Campbell. Well, Carlton though. Jackson to Scotland. Hoist it high. Oh, don't let it bounce. Young gathers it now. Oh, thought about going to Williams, but goes himself. Clinton Young. Does he bring it back? That would have been close to a super goal. I think he might have been just inside the 50. So the margin back to 7 points in favour of the Blues.
And there's Kouta.
One of the most important players on the ground, if not...
Oh, there. Scotland hooking that horribly.
Oh, I say.
And the Hawks can have a shot.
I think it's his direct opponent too.
It will only be for 6 points. The ball has gone out just inside the 50. Clinton Young, who just missed a moment ago, has one super goal tonight. He gives this off. Birchall ambitiously turns it over. Murphy for Carlton. Clever kick.
No one in the forward 50.
Carazzo, who kicked the last goal, very coolly. He's out on the centre line here. This is such a big ground, a testing ground. Well, Jordan Russell needed to mark that. Bateman applies the pressure. Russell has to hold it up, but Hodge arrives.
Free kick.
Free kick to the Hawks against Russell.
Gee, that was a great tackle from Bateman.
So the Hawks can set up again. They need a super goal or a couple of scoring shots to win this. Gillum for Birchall, who got himself into bother a moment ago. Promising second season player. Used the left foot for Franklin from behind. Didn't have a rover. Scotland again. Throw in.
Carlton was 17 players in their defensive half.
Clearly gone defensive, Woolsey.
Yeah, Big Feb, the only one in the forward half for the Blues.
Into the last 5 minutes of actual game time. If it ends in a draw, we'll have overtime, 5 minutes each way. Campbell knocks it only as far as Koutoufidis. Oh, well done, Campbell. Second effort. Koutoufidis got it back to Walker. Into the centre, numbers with the Blues here. 4-on-1. Hodge does superbly to tie it up for just a moment. And, oh, gee, free kick. And it's against McGlynn. We'll go to Stevens.
Some passion in the Hawthorn response to that free kick being paid. Shows that they're both keen to win this match.
Ball out wide to Cameron Cloak. So Hawthorn getting numbers behind the ball now.
Josh Kennedy, his tall option.
He's been called to move it on. Wobbly old torpedo inside attacking 50. Fist from Dawson at the fall. Chance for Carazzo. Can he find an option? Kick around the body is intelligent. Simpson drops a mark he should have taken. McGlynn does well. Swoops on the loose footy. Guerra. 2-on-2 out on the wing. Crawford running hard. Houlihan traps him. Well done by Houlihan. Jackson back to Houlihan to Jackson, and they did it superbly. Now Stevens around McGlynn. Chips it short, and it's okay. The mark taken by Koutoufidis.
He's been sensational in this last quarter.
They've been very composed, Carlton.
They have. And they're not rattled now. They're still trying to keep possession, set someone up within goal-kicking distance.
Well, the 2005 pre-season champions have been here before. Scotland sets it up for Cloak. Didn't look like hanging on. Hawthorn running out of opportunities. Sewell for Young. He's a left footer. He'll need to straighten up here and use it. And use it he does for Guerra. Another left footer who goes for Roughhead. Got the sit on O'Halpin. The Irishman did well. Was it deliberate?
Yep.
Yes, it was. But he did the right thing.
Reflex action.
Roughhead.
Loose player in the square.
Boyle. Kick just carrying 20 and a little bit more. There's one out up there. Boyle goes for it. Williams edged out Thornton. Got 3 goes at it. Couldn't hang on. And Thornton saves for the Blues. Stevens. Carlton hanging on here. Good kick, Stevens to Kennedy.
Presented well.
Up to the wing like a good centre half forward.
Cameron Cloak running really hard to present. Well done. He pushed 50 metres to get to that spot.
So Cloak, the loose player in the centre. Koutoufidis
9 touches.
can
This
transfer.
quarter.
Further play. Simpson's got it. Just forward of the wing. Chips it on the lead. Carazzo, not quite. Support though from Jackson. Carazzo, good second effort. Oh, it was taken low by Sewell. Play on's the call.
There it is.
It's all over. I couldn't hear the siren, but it has blown here at Aurora Stadium, and Carlton are into the semi-final of the NAB Cup.
7 points, Carlton's margin. Tremendous contest. Tremendous atmosphere. Great occasion here in Launceston. And last year's Wooden Spooners have had a good win.
Yeah, and look, it's really important, I think, for Carlton to finish out games really well. Last year they got overrun a lot, so it says a lot for their fitness and their work over the summer that they're able to close out games like that. And I thought one of the most important players on the ground was Heath Scotland, who directed play most of the night.
Rob, Carlton at full strength. Hawthorn not quite. They've probably got 5 or 6 of their first 18 missing.
If you're a Hawthorn supporter, you'd be pretty happy with what you've seen tonight. They are a team on the rise. They won their last 4 matches last year. They've been very impressive in the 2 NAB Cup games. Well done to the Blues. They gave it absolutely everything. They wanted to get a win over here, and they've done it.
Carlton by 7 points into the semis of the NAB Cup. Who says the NAB Cup doesn't count for very much? It does with Carlton. They won it in 2005 and subsequently went nowhere. But this is a team that might be ready to go somewhere. Not in one giant stride. It'll be slower progress than that. Tremendous occasion here. Carlton led by 10 points at half-time. Hawthorn cut it to 9 at the last change and to 7 at the end. But I think, Michael Voss, a pretty fair result, because from about halfway through the first quarter, Carlton, it's fair to say, were the better team on the night.
Yeah, they were. Hawthorn certainly started a lot better, and they were winning the ball out of the middle really well and getting penetrating clearances. And then I thought that they were able just to stem the flow of the ball and the run of the ball, and through Scotland being able to just drop back into that hole, just stop the Hawthorn forwards leading up the ball.
You look at the Carlton lineup now with 8 top 20 draft selections in the last 3 or 4 years, and a core of pretty useful players who have been around for a bit longer. They're not ready, I wouldn't think, to step straight into the 8, but inevitably they're going to make some progress.
Well, you hope so, and that's the plan. When you have those early picks, there's pressure on to pick the right people, but you know, they're building a side, they're building a spine, and they've got fantastic players. We've seen some of them tonight, and we've seen just how good they are.
Let's have a look ahead to the semi-finals of the competition. And on 10 on Friday night, Brisbane, who scored such a good win over the Bulldogs, will meet either Geelong or Port Adelaide. And in the other semi-final, Carlton will meet either the Kangaroos or Fremantle. We hope you've enjoyed this match from Aurora Stadium. Carlton home by 7 points. Good night.